Austin Booker out of Kansas. There's no place like home. And talk about an interesting player here that it gets a little difficult to a certain degree to get a full feel for him. So he played last year at Kansas. Prior to that, he played a few years over in Minnesota, don't you know?
Minnesota.
And got like no playing time whatsoever. Like they just would not put him in the games there. He literally had one start in his entire career prior to going to Kansas this year. So 6'6", 245 pounds. So yeah, no short arms there. No, another guy with no age.
Wingspan.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's about the same size as me, and I mean that's like I'm off the camera here, and I'm far back. But I'm far back. You're right against it.
Yes, my nose is pressed against it.
You have a big nose. It's okay. Your nose is always pressed against. Anyway, no age given for him, but he started college back at 21, so you got to assume that he's probably about 21 years old because that means he graduated high school around then. So, 18 years old. So 2003. So yeah, about 21 years old, you got to think. 22 when he was last year in Minnesota. 6 games, 2 tackles, 1 forced fumble. Yeah, not very good. 23 though. Again, Kansas saw something they liked. 12 games, 56 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 8 sacks, 1 pass deflected, 2 forced fumbles, and 82.2 PFF grade there. And again, this is Kansas. This is not, he didn't go to some tiny little school to try to just get some playing time. Kansas is as legit a school as Minnesota is. So I don't know what Minnesota did, especially because you will find out very quickly that we don't have people like crazy from Minnesota on our list here. So I'm not sure quite why they were like, let's not play this kid. He's too good. As far as the pros and cons, the pros very athletic. I mean, I got to wonder if that's part of what they saw. If maybe they played them the prior year and just saw him out there stretching and running and stuff like that. Very athletic. Again, long arms, plays the run well too as well. Got that good bend, which is weird. When you're tall like that, you don't typically have that kind of bend. He's got bend. As far as the cons, the only con really is the fact that he's raw. The guy played 1 start before this year.
Yeah.
This is raw as you get. This is like practically taking a kid out of high school. So
that's very talented to be a protege. But
yeah. So if you like developing and you feel like you have the coaching staff to develop and you like what you saw from this kid at Kansas, you're going to take the shot because he looked very good for a first-year starter. You have to look at it that way. We talk about these other guys that have like 9 sacks or, 10 sacks or 9.5 sacks. And this is their 3rd and 4th year starting for some of these guys. He went right off the bat with 12 tackles for loss and 8 sacks. That's a good year.
Pretty impressive.
That's a good year. So kudos to him. Like I said, I think day 2 pick. And like I said, if you got the right guy to teach him, it could be some fun with them.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support.
Thanks so much.